Ryan Cross here, the Victoria campus pastor. Thanks for joining us today. And we are excited because we have kicked off a brand new series called Making Waves. It's been a great summer, but we're excited for a new season. Fall is in the air. We're still holding on to summer, but fall is amongst us, and we're excited about that because here that means we are looking forward to a new season and believing that there's a next step for everyone to take. And so we got to do that this last Sunday, Welcome Home Sunday. So thank you for being a part of that. But we are in a new series called Making Waves. And throughout this series, what we're going to be looking at is really the pillars of Coastline Church, what we believe, why we believe it, and how together are we going to walk this thing out. And I love that the series is called Making Waves because we believe that as all of us move towards a next step, that waves are going to be made, and that through Coastline Church, that waves are going to go out through our cities, through our communities, through where we go to work, and we're going to see people see Jesus through us taking next steps towards the life that He has for us. And so maybe that's small groups. You could be in one right now, participating in this, and that's amazing. It could be things like Alpha, things like Freedom, things like joining a team. Come and be a part of the team that makes church happen on a Sunday throughout any of our campuses, any of our locations and services. But we're all taking next steps, and we're excited about it. Well, today we're looking at what we chatted about this last Sunday, why we gather on Sundays. And I love our Sunday gatherings. I love that they're full of life, they're full of energy, and they're full of the Word of God. They're full of the presence of Jesus. And what we talked about this last Sunday that we're deep diving into today is how do we go from just Jesus being maybe a guest, maybe a visitor in our life? How do we go from Him being a guest to being at home in us? How do we make the transition from Christ being a house guest to being at home within us? What does that look like? And then how do Sundays involve themselves in that process? The first thing that I want to do is I want to read to us Hebrews 10:24 and 25. It says this. It says, "Let us consider how we may spur one another on towards love and good deeds, not giving up meeting together as some are in the habit of doing, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day approaching." I love the verbiage here, how specific it is, that we are to spur one another on towards love and good deeds. You know that when we come to church on a Sunday, that it's not a solitary action. That we believe that coming to church is not something that we do as individuals, but it's a collection. It's a group. It's a family regathering on a weekly basis to be encouraged, to be inspired, to be challenged by the Word of God, and to move closer towards the life He has for us. That when we come together on a Sunday morning, that it's not an individual sport. I don't know how you feel about group projects. They're not my biggest. They're not my thing really, because I feel like I end up doing all the work. But that's neither here nor there. But when we come to church on a Sunday, it's a group thing. It's all of us coming together. It doesn't happen as individuals, but it's the family of God coming together. And we do that so that we can spur one another on, so that there can be encouragement that happens. There can be relationship that takes place. The verse says that we're to spur one another on towards love and good deeds, not giving up meeting together. Maybe your next step, maybe the thing that you're committing to this fall as we go into this new season is just to make church a more regular thing in your life. There's been seasons of my life where coming to church has been more of an addition to my week and not the foundation of my week. But I promise you that if you were to make coming to church on a Sunday the foundation of your week, if you were to make visiting the Word of God together as the family of God the foundation of your week, the rest of the 6 days will be transformed. And that's how transformation happens. Transformation happens within community. Transformation happens when you get to know the people that are sitting next to you in church and you begin to open up your life to them. You begin to share with them what's going on in your world, how your world feels, the wins, the challenges, the things that you're facing, the details of your life. When you begin to share that and you can find that encouragement, maybe you feel like today no one is spurring you on towards love and good deeds. Well, I wonder how have you gone with introducing yourself to people at church? Are you taking next steps towards relationship? Have you put yourself out there and joined a small group and shown up maybe early to church and hung out in the lobby, got a coffee and met someone new? I promise you, as we move towards the people of God, God will move towards your life, because it's through relationship and it's through these moments that even can feel like there's tension or uncomfortability that transformation takes place. I'm telling you, transformation does not take place in a vacuum. It takes place within community. We all know what it feels like to be in a house that's empty, or to be in a house that's full of people. I grew up in a large Hispanic family, and I can tell you, the house felt very different on a normal day versus Christmas morning, when there's 30 plus of us all gathered in there and we're eating and we're laughing and wrapping paper is going all over the place. There's a different atmosphere, a different feel. It's the same for the house of God. When we come here, it's not just about being in a building once a week. It's about being with God's people on a regular basis, and to feel the life there, to feel the energy, to feel the encouragement, to feel the fact that God chooses to use one another. He chooses to use you and me to spur one another on towards love and good deeds. And so maybe your next step in this next season is to do what it's saying here in Hebrews, to not neglect, to not give up on meeting together. Maybe there's been some challenges in your life when it comes to the church, or how your relationship with the church has felt, or how your relationship with the community of God has felt. I want to encourage you that there is life here, and that if you were to lean in, that God is ready to maybe heal or to restore things that in the past have been negatively affected. Because the thing is that even though we are the people of God, we're still people, which means that we are still imperfect. But we do have our eyes set on the perfect one, Jesus Christ. And we are all committing to having Him transform us to be made more into His image. And the thing that we give each other is that grace. We give each other that forgiveness, and we give each other that encouragement that we are all on this journey together. And so let's not give up. Let's not give up on this journey. Let's continue to move forward. Let's continue to meet together on Sundays. Let's continue to be together in small groups. Let's continue to be vulnerable and to open up our lives more and more. And I promise you that God is not done with you yet. That transformation is still possible, and it's possible through relationship. First, through relationship with Jesus. Secondly, through relationship with His church, with His people. So we love you, and we're for you, and we're so excited to continue in this series together and to discover the life that God has for us, and to all of us make steps towards His best for us. We love you, Coastline. We'll see you soon.